Hi guys, this is Professor Josibel Rojas and this is class number 4, reported speech. Let's start. What is reported speech? It is a way of communicating what someone else has said. We can use guided speech or indirect speech way to report it. So here we have an example about Shakira. Let's report it in the direct form. Let's say, Shakira said, I consider myself a survivor more than anything else. I'm repeating exactly the words she said in the direct way, in the direct speech. Let's continue with the indirect speech example. Shakira said that she considered herself a survivor more than anything else. So let's learn the differences between direct speech and indirect speech. Direct speech refers to the exact words spoken by someone enclosed in quotation marks. So I'm repeating exactly what someone said enclosing the message between quotation marks. I don't paraphrase. I repeat exactly what the person said. Also, the definition says that you can add the word said, told, asked, explained, or ordered before retelling the information. So, let's pay attention to the examples. The interviewer asked to Mr. John about what is he doing, and Mr. John says, I am walking in the streets of Caracas. So the reporter is going to express the information and says, Mr. John said, I'm walking in the streets of Caracas. She is repeating exactly the words that Mr. John said. So she used quotation marks to enclose the information and used the word said before retelling the message. Direct speech is very easy. So if you pay attention to the example, we respected what Mr. John said. We just repeated the information exactly as he said using quotation marks. So that's all in the direct form. Let's continue with the indirect way. In the direct speech, you have to be cautious because you have to pay attention to some details. Indirect speech is a way of reporting what someone said, but not with the exact words they use. It involves changing the tense of the verb, pronouns, and other words to reflect the new context of the reporting. So keep sure you follow these general considerations. First, name the person who said the information. 2. Add the word said, told, asked, explained, or ordered before retelling the information. And number 3, add that before expressing the message. This is very important. You are paraphrasing, so you have to add that before expressing the message. Number 4, you have to change the subject or the personal pronoun of the sentence. Remember, you are paraphrasing what someone else said. Number 5, become the verbal tenses of the sentence to its immediate past tense. Number 6, replace expressions of time and other necessary words to change and retell the message. For example, Mr. John said, I'm walking in the streets of Caracas. Let's use the indicted speech to report this information. So the reporter says, Mr. John told her, we say told her because the information was received by her, by the woman. That, we use that because we are paraphrasing. Then we say, he was walking. He was walking. Past continuous. Remember the verbal tense changes. In the streets of Caracas, Mr. John told her that he was walking in the streets of Caracas. I'm using my own words and I'm paraphrasing the information. That's the idea. Example number two. Let's report a negation. Christine says, I didn't do my homework. Oh, she's worried because she didn't do her homework. So let's report this information using the indicted speech. So the reporter says, Christine said that she had not done her homework. We use that because we are paraphrasing. Then we say she because we're talking about her. Then it says had not done. So we changed the past simple tense of the original sentence to past perfect. That's the change of the variable tense and it's necessary. So Christine said that she had not done her homework. So let's continue reporting a yes no question. To report it, you have to use asked and the word if. Anna says, do you like chocolate? So let's report it in the indicted speech form. The reporter said, Anna asked if I liked chocolate. I use asked because I'm talking about a question. I use if because this is a yes no question. Then I say I liked because the question was for me, so I say I. And then liked in past because I change the verbal tense of the sentence from present simple to past simple. That's all. Next example. Let's report a WH question and let's use the same WH question to retell the message. For example, Katie says, what will you do when we finish? Okay, so let's report it using the indicted speech. The reporter says, Katie asked her what she would do when they finish. So we say asked because this was a question. Then we say her because Katie asked to her friend this. Then we say what because we have to use the same WH word. She would, we say would because will becomes would in the indicted speech. That's all. Now, let's report an order. Pay attention because orders are very simple and easy. It says, orders are always imperative sentence, so you don't care about the variable tenses. You don't pay attention to the variable tenses. Then, use the preposition to before retelling the information. For example, the mother says, clean your bedroom, please. So let's report using the indicted speech. The reporter says, Mrs. Anna ordered him to clean his bedroom. Okay, so we say ordered because this was an imperative sentence. We say him because this is a boy. To clean, pay attention. We just say to before the order. We repeated the order, clean the bedroom, but including to before the verb. And of course, we changed your by his because we're talking about the boy. That's all. And the last example, use not to if the order was negative. For example, don't go out with no permission. So the father says, don't go out with no permission. Okay, so let's retell the information using the indicted speech. So the reporter says, he ordered him not to go out with no permission. So we said ordered because this was imperative. We say him because the order was for the boy. We say not to because this was negative, so it's necessary. And then we continue with the order go out with no permission. That's all to report a negative order in the indicted way. Take a look to the changes in variable tenses. In the same way, you already have this information on your notebook. Thank you very much for watching. See you next class. If you have any doubt, just let me know.